Surprised he could understand.
Jackie Chan is a famous Chinese and Hollywood actor, stuntman, producer, screenwriter, and director. He has more than 100 films under his belt and doesn't plan to stop there. Jackie Chan is one of the highest paid actors of our time, as well as a philanthropist, a singer, and a businessman. How Jackie Chan lives and how he spends his millions. Jackie Chan was born on April 7, 1954 in British Hong Kong. At birth, the boy was given the name Chan Kong Sang, which literally translates as Chan, born in Hong Kong. His parents, Charles and Lily Chan, were poor and had fled to Hong Kong from political repression. According to some sources, his mother was an opium dealer and his father was a spy. The family had a difficult time in their new place of residence. They barely made ends meet. Later, both got jobs at the French embassy. Charles was a cook and Lily was a maid. His parents were so poor that they had to borrow money for their son's birth from friends. Rumor has it that the parents wanted to sell the newborn, but changed their mind. By the way, the mother called the active and lively boy Pow Pow, which means cannonball. And the father from his early childhood conditioned him in the culture of Kung Fu. Young Chan started elementary school, but studying was difficult for him. The situation for the boy's parents also grew worse. Political repression resumed. They were forced to move again, this time to Australian Canberra, where the father got a job as a chef at the US Embassy. But they decided to leave their son in Hong Kong. From the age of 6, he attended the Peking Opera School at the Chinese Institute of Opera Studies. Chan spent the next 10 years at the school. There he studied martial arts and acting, singing and acrobatics. After graduating from the school, its graduates were to continue their careers in opera. Studying was hard, and the school had strict rules, including corporal punishment. And Chan's parents were far away. The boy studied diligently, so he became a part of the 7 lucky ones. It was a group of 7 of the most talented students who performed in theaters in Hong Kong and abroad. Chan became friends with his classmates. Together with Sammo Hung and Yuan Bio, he formed the group The Three Brothers, also known as The Three Dragons. Chan began acting in films while still studying at school. His debut was the film Big and Little Wong Tin Bar, which until recently was considered lost. He also starred in cameo roles in many films of that time. At the age of 17, Chan graduated from high school, but unfortunately, Chinese opera had lost its popularity and was difficult to make a career. In addition, general education disciplines weren't listed among the subjects he studied at the theater school. In fact, Chan had difficulty writing and reading, which greatly reduced the possibility of getting a job. His choice was either hard physical labor or making the best of the acquired skills, working as a stuntman. For the next few years, he starred in cameo roles as a stuntman and actor. In 1971, Chan played his first main role in the film The Master with Cracked Fingers. During the first half of the 70s, the actor added several films to his filmography. He participated in such films as Policewoman, Not Scared to Die, and several others. However, the offers that he got weren't very good. In general, the Hong Kong film industry was going through hard times, and in 1976, the actor agreed to move to his parents in Australia. He briefly attended Dickinson College and worked as a construction worker. He worked together with a man named Jack. The Australians had trouble pronouncing the Chinese name of the young man, so they started calling him Little Jack, which gradually transformed into the already familiar Jackie. Jackie Chan didn't see any prospects in Australia. Working on the construction site wasn't his thing, and it was difficult to expect something more. But fortunately, the young man received an invitation from a certain Willie Chan. He saw Jackie's work as an actor and a stuntman and offered him the main role in the film New Fist of Fury. Chan happily agreed and returned to Hong Kong, and Willie later became his manager and friend. In the film, the director insisted on playing up the resemblance to Bruce Lee. Chan even adopted the pseudonym Sing Lung, which means become a dragon, similar to Bruce's nickname, Little Dragon. The young actor didn't look very convincing in hand-to-hand combat, which was Bruce's trademark, and the film wasn't particularly successful. However, the director still cast Chan in several similar roles. In 1976, Killer Meteors and Shaolin Wooden Men were also released. During the filming of the latter, the actor received deep cuts to his arm. Chan worked hard. Next came the films The Hand of Death, To Kill with Intrigue, and Magnificent Bodyguards. Also, Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin got a good rating. As the actor admitted, he would spend all the money from the films on women, friends, and gambling. The amount spent was colossal and thoughtless. While engaged in the choreography of stunts, Jackie Chan gradually formed a new genre of comedy, which was organically complemented by martial arts and tricks, and sometimes they got pretty complex. His characters were kind and brave, although sometimes lazy and simple-minded, but they always fought well. Since the mid-70s, the actor has developed a certain principle of choosing characters, and he's almost never played negative roles, but most importantly, he must remain himself. Chan's first major success came from the 1978 film Snake and the Eagle's Shadow. By the way, while filming one of the fighting scenes, Jackie was slashed by a sword, even though the edge was supposed to be blunt. The actor screamed in pain, and the director didn't realize that this was no longer acting. As a result, in the film we can see Jackie's real blood. Also, during the final scene, you can clearly see a gap in his mouth from a broken tooth. This is the result of a powerful kick from Huang Jing Li. The next film, Drunken Master, was even more successful. The film grossed 8 million Hong Kong dollars in its first season alone, and a year later broke the box office record set by Bruce Lee. Chan played the role of a dashing hooligan and young Chinese folk hero, Wang Fei-hung.
Ooh, yeah, this is called Widow See a Lover Off. That's called fun.
Interestingly enough, he managed to achieve the effect of a drunken face by standing with his head bowed low for several minutes, so that the blood rushed to his face. Also during the filming, Chan suffered an eye injury and almost lost it. At the hospital, he refused needles, so they sewed up the wound using electricity, which made one eye look bigger than the other one after healing. The doctor recommended him to correct it with the help of cosmetic surgery. It's surprising that considering all the specifics of his profession, the actor is scared of hospitals and all sorts of medical interventions. The next few Jackie Chan films consolidated his image as a drunken master. These were films like Spiritual Kung Fu and Half a Loaf of Kung Fu. In 1979, in the film Dragon Fist, the actor damaged his nose. In the film The Fearless Hyena, Chan makes his debut as a director. The film received the second largest box office sales in the history of Hong Kong. In 1980, the action film Battle Creek Brawl was released, which was a cooperation between the United States and Hong Kong. This film was Jackie Chan's first American film and his first English-speaking role. For his role in the film, he received $1 million and became the highest-paid Asian actor in American cinema at the time. In the same year, The Fearless Hyena 2 was released, but Jackie Chan left the project during the filming. The director tried to get him to return with the help of the triads, criminal syndicates, but it didn't work. In the new scenes, Luo Wei filmed Chan's double. The actor himself was forced to flee Hong Kong. He later became the only actor who was able to defend his independence from the triads. Chan moved to a major film studio, Golden Harvest. Their first collaboration was the film The Young Master, which was filmed in Taiwan. By the way, this is the first film in which Jackie Chan himself performed the soundtrack at the end of the film. It is noteworthy that the actor was interested in singing while studying at the Beijing Opera School. In the 1980s, he began to record songs and gained popularity. Since 1984, he has released 20 albums with compositions in Chinese, Japanese, and English. And while the actor often records the soundtrack for his films, they are often replaced in the American and European dubs. Jackie Chan was actively trying to enter the American market. In 1981, he took part in the film The Cannonball Run. Jackie had a chance to play a small role as a Japanese man, which as a true Chinese man upset him very much. And it was also in this film that he was inspired to include bloopers at the end of his films. This later became a tradition for most of his future films. And while the idea of these unsuccessful takes is to get an audience to laugh, it also serves as a disclaimer: don't try this at home. Chan believes, and rightfully so, that stunts are something only professionals should attempt. For the first time, these bloopers were shown in the film Dragon Lord. Notably, the film was listed in the Guinness Book of Records for the number of takes of one scene. The actor had to score a goal with a small shuttlecock while playing Chinese football. In total, it took more than 2,900 takes. But the shooting was not without injuries. Falling from a pyramid of stuntmen, Chan received a serious injury to the back of his skull, broke his lower jaw, and smashed his chin. A young, attractive guy, still being a simple stuntman, quickly got a crowd of fans, but most importantly, female fans. And when they found out that Chan had a girlfriend, they say some were on the verge of suicide. This is partly why Jackie Chan did not advertise the seriousness of his relationship with Taiwanese actress Lin Fengzhou, also known as Joan Lin. As Chan later said, it was love at first sight. The young, charming actress had won his heart. She was also in love and, without looking back, agreed to move to the United States. The couple soon found out that they were expecting a baby. Just a couple of days before the birth of their son, Jackie and Joan got married, celebrating this event in a simple coffee shop, and on December 3, 1982, their son JC was born. Afterwards, Jackie, even after becoming a father, immersed himself in work while his wife took care of their son. Later, Joan Lin and her child returned to Taiwan, and Jackie continued to build his career. Partly thanks to his friends who believed that his wife had deliberately gotten pregnant, Chan did not want to tell her about his income, and he was not particularly close to his new family. Sometimes he could see his son 6 times in 6 years, and as he could afford much as an actor, he himself admits he was not a good father and husband. Chan's next film, Fantasy Mission Force, was released in 1983. It was not particularly successful, and the actor only agreed to shoot it as a thank you to Yu Wang, who helped him resolve some trouble with the triads. In the same year, the comedy thriller Winners and Sinners was released, followed by Project A, during the filming of which the Jackie Chan stunt team was officially created. Jackie himself still personally trains professional stuntmen and pays for the treatment of those who are injured, and fully trusts his guys. In 1984, Jackie Chan starred in the comedy Run Cannonball 2, which began his collaboration with Mitsubishi, and he also released the action comedy Wheels on Meals.
What is it? Oh, you're not very smart. What is going on out there?
In 1985, 2 parts of the action film My Lucky Stars, The Protector and Heart of the Dragon were released. Also, due to the dissatisfaction Chan had with the quality of the film and his disappointment in American cinema, Jackie Chan decided to make a police action film himself to show the Americans how to make a good movie. This film was Police Story. The 1986 action-adventure film Armor of God was almost fatal.
So you are the Asian Hawk.
Correct.
We're honored with your presence.
Let's stop playing game and get down to business, okay?
What business? I already have everything.
The actor suffered a serious injury that almost cost him his life. When jumping from the castle wall to a tree, Chan missed the landing and fell on a rock, breaking his skull. As a result, the actor hears worse with his left ear. However, even after such a dangerous incident, Jackie continues to give his all on the set. Next, in the film Project A Part 2, he chewed and used a real pepper as a weapon because the fake props were not ready in time. In the 1988 film Dragons Forever, Chan injured his ankle, and in the sequel Police Story Part 2, he again suffered several head injuries. In the film Miracles, Jackie Chan received a deep cut to his left eye while performing a somersault on a rickshaw carriage. By the way, a record $9 million was spent on the shooting of the film in Hong Kong at that time, but it did not pay off. And to smooth out the studio's discontent, Chan agreed to shoot a sequel to the acclaimed action-adventure film Armor of God 2, Operation Condor. In the same year, Chan played 2 diverse roles in the film Twin Dragons. Returning to the role of Kevin Chan in the film Police Story 3 Super Cop, the actor did not have time to dodge a helicopter flying at him during the filming, as a result of which he injured his shoulder and back. In 1993, Once a Cop and the drama Crime Story, which was based on real events, were released. Also during the shooting of the car chase scene, when jumping between two cars, Jackie Chan got caught between them and broke both his legs. It's no surprise that no insurance company takes on the risk of providing insurance for Jackie Chan. In 1994, the sequel to Jackie's first successful film, Drunken Master 2, was released.
They have their bunches of him!
Father will kill me.
You can blame it all on me! You're going to lose if you don't, so just go ahead!
It is known that during the filming, Chan clashed with the director about the style of the fight. As a result, the actor took over the duties of the director in the final scene. The fight scene, lasting 7 minutes, took him 4 months to film. Chan said it takes 1 day to film 3 seconds of a good movie. In 1995, the action movie Rumble in the Bronx was released.
You okay?
I'm fine. Thank you.
No problem.
The film not only brought Chan $4 million and long-awaited fame in the US, it also became the highest-grossing film in China and Hong Kong in 1995. By the way, the film focused a lot on the tricks that Jackie performed himself, despite his injuries, which were many. Fans and critics also enjoyed the films that followed after, such as Thunderbolt, Police Story 4, First Strike, and Mr. Nice Guy, in which he again gave his all.
Keep looking! Over there!
And in 1998, Jackie decided on a bold experiment and made his first all-American film, Rush Hour.
I want to help with the investigation. This is my case.
Your case. Look, you can back me up. When we get in here, you follow my lead and do what I do, okay?
His duo with Chris Tucker was extremely successful, and they became the winners of the MTV Channel Award. The film became one of the highest-grossing films of the year, and a few years later, 2 more parts were released. In the same year, the film Who Am I was released. Jackie dedicated his jump from the 23-story high Rotterdam house to his master teacher, Yu Jim Wan. In November 1999, Jackie's second child, daughter Etta Nga Chak Lam, was born from an extramarital affair with actress Elaine Nga Yile. This incident had consequences for Chan. He begged for forgiveness from his wife, whom he had recently introduced to the public. He confirmed an extramarital affair and recognized his daughter, but didn't maintain relations with her. In the same year, the action film Gorgeous was released, and a year later the western Shanghai Noon, where Jackie played with Owen Wilson. Critics were very positive about their acting. By the way, for this film, Chan received $5 million. And in the next film, The Accidental Spy, the actor realized a lifelong dream. He wanted to perform a trick with a crane for 20 years, but there had been no technical possibility at the time. In 2001, Rush Hour 2 brought the actor $15 million and a percentage of the box office sales.
Let me look a little closer. Oh, look at that. Got a little tattoo. That's cute. Look like Snoopy.
Snoopy?
Yeah.
I love Snoopy.
Wait a minute. I love Snoopy too.
The next few films were not so successful. The film The Tuxedo was criticized for a stupid plot, and the film The Medallion was called expensive cheap. In 2003, Chan again played with Owen Wilson in the comedy Shanghai Nights. In the next year, he starred in the adventure comedy Around the World in 80 Days, which was blasted for strong deviations from the original novel by Jules Verne.
Goodbye, sir. It's been very nice valeting for you. Right. Do it again soon.
No, wait, please, wait. What with you is my brave valet. I can test all my inventions. No.
Chan had enough. He returned to Hong Kong, where he produced several successful films at once. New Police Story in Hong Kong almost immediately became a leader in the cinemas. By the way, The height from which Jackie Chan descended in handcuffs on the set of this film was 27 floors. In the film Robin Hood, the actor played the role of a criminal who was forced to take care of a stolen baby. In 2007, the third part of the film Rush Hour brought the actor $15 million, but critics didn't give it good reviews. The following year, Jackie Chan voiced Master Monkey in the cartoon Kung Fu Panda, and also in the second and third parts. At the same time, on the set of the film The Forbidden Kingdom, Jackie Chan for the first time worked with the famous Chinese actor and martial artist Jet Li. Critics were on the fence about the film, but the fans were happy. In 2009, Chan participated in several films: the Chinese historical drama The Founding of a Republic, the family action film Looking for Jackie, the American comedy action film Spy Next Door, and the crime drama Shinjuku Incident. By the way, in order to maintain a positive image, Chan refused to play villains in many expensive Hollywood films. In 2010, the actor performed his first dramatic role in American cinema. He played a kung fu teacher, a mentor for Jaden Smith, the son of Will Smith in the film Karate Kid.
Check it on.
Miss Han, I already...
Check it on.
In the same year, the adventure thriller Little Big Soldier was released. Jackie started working on the script for it 20 years before the release. In 2011, the drama films Shaolin and 1911 were released. The following year, Jackie Chan set a Guinness World Record in the film Chinese Zodiac, receiving for it the highest number of mentions in the credits.
It's part of border war, killing thousands of people.
People died.
That's their business. You are the scumbag of our business.
During the production, Chan worked in 15 main positions, including director, producer, actor, fight scene choreographer, and composer. Jackie Chan continued to act, although he announced his retirement from action movies. As the actor later explained, he was not going to say goodbye to his favorite thing, but would try to perform fewer tricks that were life-threatening. By the way, the actor's son, JC Chan, followed in his father's footsteps. Although they hadn't gotten along for a long time, JC participated in several films with his father and also released 2 music albums. In August 2014, during a search of JC Chan's apartment, police found 100 grams of marijuana. After hearing that his son had been smoking pot regularly for 8 years, Jackie, a vocal opponent of drugs, was furious. After JC got out of prison, their father-son relationship improved a little. In 2015, Chan starred in the action comedy Skip Trace and the fantasy drama Dragon Blade, which brought him $10 million. A year later, the actor participated in the adventure comedy Railroad Tigers, in which he starred with his son JC and voiced Sensei Wu in the cartoon The Master, a Lego Ninjago short. On November 12, 2016, Jackie Chan was awarded an honorary Oscar for extraordinary achievement in cinematography. And the following year of 2017 was fruitful for the actor. There was the fantasy action film Kung Fu Yoga, the fantastic thriller Bleeding Steel, the fantasy drama Miracles of the Namiya General Store, and the crime thriller The Foreigner, with Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan in the main roles. In addition, the actor voiced characters in 2 more cartoons, the Lego Ninjago movie and the Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature. In the same year, the actor's daughter Etta attempted but failed to commit suicide. Afterwards, the girl recovered and admitted that one of the reasons for the attempt was the lack of intimacy with both her father and mother. A year later, Etta announced her wedding to her girlfriend. She still doesn't maintain a relationship with her father. In 2019, the fantasy film V2, Journey to China, the biographical drama The Climbers, and the comedy action film The Night of Shadows, Between Yin and Yang, were released. And in 2020, in the crime thriller Vanguard, Jackie Chan once again risked his life. The actor almost drowned after getting stuck under a rock while filming in the water. When finally he made it back to dry land, director Stanley Tong burst into tears. Now the thriller Project X is being prepared for release, which is scheduled to premiere in 2021. The filming of the action film Five Against a Bullet is also in the process. The action comedy Shanghai Dawn and the crime comedy Rush Hour 4 are also planned to be released. At the moment, Jackie Chan's fortune is estimated at $400 million. He made $40 million last year. The actor's income comes from box offices and various other sources. Also, Jackie Chan is active in advertising. He promoted Visa, Kaspersky antivirus software, starred in ads for coloring shampoos in Hong Kong Airlines, and he appeared in a commercial for a Bajaj motorcycle. He also advertised the two-wheeled electric scooter, Segway, and much more. In addition, Jackie Chan is a successful businessman. He is the owner of a modeling agency called Jackie's Angels and a partner with the Planet Hollywood restaurant chain. The actor produces a variety of products under his own brands. Jackie Chan Design, the JC Collection, or the JC Jeans. Jackie Chan also owns the company JCAM, which develops and produces vehicles that do not harm the environment. Together with racing driver David Chen, he is a co-owner of the Chinese racing team Jackie Chan DC Racing. In addition, Jackie Chan is an active soccer fan and supports the Hong Kong national team, the England national team, Manchester City, and he also loves gambling. In 2010, the actor opened a huge 17-hole movie theater called Jackie Chan Yoali International Cinema in Beijing, and by 2015, he had 38 cinemas around the country. Jackie Chan also owns a large number of houses around the world. He admits that no one knows about all of them, but even the published list is impressive. It is known that he has a luxury mansion in Miami, 2 houses in Hong Kong, a huge mansion designed in a futuristic style on the coast of Australia, a house on the island of Phuket, 2 luxury apartments in Beijing, the cost of which is $14 million. But the actor may lose them due to legal disputes between property developers. Jackie Chan previously lived in a luxurious 24,750 square foot mansion situated in Beverly Hills, which he sold for $6.3 million. The house has 6 bedrooms, several bathrooms, a cozy living room, a spacious kitchen, a dining room, and a lounge with a domed ceiling designed as a starry sky. Near the house, there is a swimming pool with a seating area. According to the actor, there are secret rooms and secret passages in all of his houses. Jackie Chan's collection includes several prestigious cars such as the Bentley Mulsanne, Lamborghini Murcielago, Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, and Subaru Impreza WRX STI. Also, thanks to his collaboration with Mitsubishi Motors, many of their models found a place in his garage. There is also a limited edition 1987 Mitsubishi Starion Jackie Chan HKS. It is not known for certain how many of these cars were produced, but there were very few of them. Also in 2005, Mitsubishi produced 50 exclusive Evo 9 Jackie Chan SE models. But out of all of his cars, the Lamborghini Aventador is one of the actor's favorites. The company released an exclusive model specifically for Jackie Chan. In addition to cars, the actor also owns airplanes. He is also a representative of Embraer, a Brazilian company known for being one of the largest aircraft manufacturers in the world. Jackie Chan first purchased an aircraft in 2012 and became the owner of the Legacy 650 model. That plane even had a special Dragon-style paint job. Later, the actor bought another luxury Embraer Legacy 500 aircraft for $20 million. The interior of the Legacy 500 can be customized, and Chan chose a simple light wood for his personal plane. Also, the actor has a 125-foot rowing yacht. According to Jackie Chan, he bought it for one of his films. And in 2019, the actor bought another 150-foot yacht called Jinlong, created by the design studio Mulder Design. Jackie Chan promotes a healthy lifestyle. He doesn't smoke, doesn't drink alcohol or coffee, and trains a lot. Also, the actor has long ago announced that he will bequeath half of his fortune to charity. And because Chan believes that success should be achieved by your own merit, his own children will inherit none of his fortune. Jackie in general pays great attention to charity. At first, he simply gave gifts and money to orphanages and hospitals, and then eventually created the Jackie Chan Foundation. He adopted 10 orphans, took care of 50 Chinese children living abroad, and supported several university students. He additionally finances the Jackie Chan Hospital and makes contributions to the martial arts education funds. What do you think is the secret to Jackie Chan's success? If you like the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.